Ciao, this is Esther.
Alfred here.
Of You, Me, and Sicily, and we're going to take you on a ride with us to Tre Castagni in the province of Catania, a Mount Etna town and Alfred's ancestral hometown.
You know, it means a lot to me going back up to Tre Castagni. It was the very reason why I emigrated to Sicily in the first place, Esther. So there's a lot of emotional attachment between me and my DNA to that beautiful mountain town.
Okay, we're going to go into the Church of San Alfio, the Hall of Miracles, which is one of the most spectacular sanctuaries I've ever seen. Also, the Mother Church, dedicated to San Nicola. Wait till you see this beautiful view. And later, we're going to go to Acitrezza for a swim. But first, come for a ride with us. Tell me about your first memories of San Alfio, Philadelphia, and Cerino, and Lawrence.
My whole life. That's a long time ago. That's 7 decades ago. I went to every festival my entire life. It was ingrained in my family. My grandfather, as you know, was one of the 3 people who actually started that festival. And this is the 99th year. So 99 years ago, the Teresi family and the Zappler family, but primarily the Teresi family, was involved in the formation of the Feast of San Alfio in Lawrence, Massachusetts.
When was the first time you came to the actual feast in Tre Castagni?
I came in 1997, right after my father died, for the first time to Tre Castagni.
What was that experience like?
It was a life-changing experience. It actually shifted my whole paradigm. Coming to Tre Castagni and walking the streets of my great-grandfather's grandfathers, you kidding me? That's why I'm here. Tre Castagni, my ancestral town.
Busy Saturday morning. I can't believe it. Puccini mushrooms? Yes, the puccini mushrooms are out. Look at that. This whole area, we're in Via Grande right now. This whole area was once part of Tre Castagni, right?
Yeah, Tre Castagni was enormous in terms of the size. When Via Grande started to expand, they decided to start their own community. So you're right. Back in the 1800s, Via Grande was part of Tre Castagni. I'm sure.
And here we are in the Piazza of San Alfio. Hopping little place. All goodies from Etna. Buongiorno. The figs, hummus, tutti prodotti da Etna. This place is great. Probably one of the best chickens in the area. Buongiorno. I'm telling you right now, this roasted chicken tastes much different than in the United States or anywhere else I've had it.
Questo è un pollo siciliano, un galletto siciliano. Lui è galletto siciliano.
Ah, sì, lui?
Lui il gallettino originale.
Sì.
Questo che è funghi puccini.
Funghi, puccini.
Sì, sì.
Pasta alla norma, caponata, lasagna e poi
Lasagna parmigiana.
lasagna parmigiana, fresh bread over there. Questa è scacciata?
Sì.
Scacciata.
Fatto bene.
You can imagine on May 9th and 10th when the statue of San Alfio, Philadelphia, Cerino comes out on the Vara. This place is hopping with music, with fireworks, and with all types of celebrations. The store is quite spectacular. Santuario Alfio Philadelphia Cerino, 1928. These are the Cherios that they'll be parading up and down the streets during the festival of San Alfio. And each one is dedicated to some kind of a profession or guild. Handmade, usually between 400 and 800 kilos. Through the years, both Alfred and I have brought Many people who have no connections to Tre Castagni or the Three Saints here, I have to tell you, there's always something magical in here. People say they have been moved by this church, the presence of it, the spirit of it. Now we're going to go into the Hall of Miracles. These are all the paintings that were commissioned by people who prayed to San Alfio, Philadelphia, and Chirino for their intercession, and a miracle happened. This room is filled, going back to the 1800s. Look at this old picture of Tre Castagni. These are the miracles fatto a Domenico Giovanni, 1943. All the World War II miracles. It's quite an impressive hall, and there's also the modern hall down there. These miracles aren't just from Tre Castagni, they're also from the surrounding towns. So Alfio, Philadelphia, and Chirino are very dear to lots of people in the Catania area. Turissi Salvatore, 1913. Lots of illnesses, accidents. 1956. This one is 1927. Miracolo fatto San Alfio, 1927. Never seen anything like this, the Hall of Miracles here in Tre Castagni. I love just going down these side alleys and exploring. Of course, we've been in this town 50 million times, but it's always something new to see. First, fichi di Indias, prickly pears. Buongiorno. I remember I was here a few years ago, probably one of my first years here, that I discovered the Cacuzza. Now we're going to go to Alfred's ancestral home. When did you find the ancestral home?
I found the ancestral home thanks to Sado Messina, who was able to make an arrangement for me to actually go in and tour the house. That was pretty unbelievable. This is the ancestral home of my great-grandfather Giuseppe Gangi, the grandfather of my mother, whose mother was born here. It's a beautiful villa. You can't see it because the doors are closed, but in the back is a big house with a beautiful garden. And in the year 2010, I was able to fulfill one of my mom's wishes by actually making arrangements over here for then Judge Messina, who was living at the time, who owned this place, to tour the house. And if you look over there, you see a camellia tree. It's big now, isn't it? That tree was planted by my mother's mother, my grandmother, Concetta, before she came to the United States. And you should have seen my mom's face because he gave her a cutting of that particular tree. It was unbelievable. And right down this little road over here that we're going to walk right now is it's got to be restored from what I understand, the old palace of the prince from Spain. Esther, you see this building here? I always thought it was a jail, but it's not a jail. It's actually a home that was built for one of the princes in Spain, from Spain. during the Spanish occupation. And of course it's run down. However, they received money to restore it, and right now they're working on foundational issues over here. This will end up being a tourist attraction within 5 years. But it's just amazing that Lisa Zober, our friend from New Hampshire, her great-grandparents who immigrated to the United States actually had a home about 100 meters down the street. It's amazing that, and we both thought it was a jail, but it wasn't a jail. It's a home of a Spanish prince. You wanna walk around the corner?
This church over here is 1700s. It's been closed though for years. Maria della Misericordia dei Bianchi. Now we're going to go up to the mother church. San Nicola. 1400s. Beautiful old church. This church was built around the 1400s. It's majestic. Look at that organ. Check out this panorama. The Bay of Catania. These palaces are just beautiful. But the view from here is magnificent. It's a little bit hazy, so you can't see the sea, which is straight down there. On a clear day, you can even see Calabria straight ahead. The other way to get up here is through a series of stairs that go all the way down to the bottom of the street. And over here, these guys are getting ready for a wedding.
No, no, è bianco, ma anche ieri è bianco.
Look at those teste d'amore. Beautiful.
He's got his pajamas.
Pajamas. Let's see what Etna's doing today. Smoking as always. Now we're gonna go get a cup of coffee. Come with us. Piazza Marcone. And that's where we just came from, the mother church. In the spring, this place is filled with beautiful roses. Tre castagni. Sounds like chestnuts, right? Nope. Tre castagnello. 3 chaste lambs. Alfio, Philadelphia, and Cerino. So what are you thinking about as we sit here in Tre Castagni, Piazza Marcone?
Well, I come here quite often just to contemplate about things. I mean, after all, I'm probably sitting in a bench that my 2 grandfathers sat in at the turn of the century, the 20th century, before they came to the United States of America. But the thing about Tre Castagni that I really like is that it's about 10 or 15 degrees cooler in the summertime because we're right at the edge of Etna here. The house is very desirable. It's got heavy, heavy, heavy Spanish influence. And the population increases from about 14,000 off-season to about 30,000 during the season, where a lot of wealthy northerners own homes. It's not that cheap to live in this town, although they do have apartments that are very nice. Do I think you should settle here? Well, yeah, I think so. It's a great town. The wine is legendary. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, this whole area, it's known as
wine is legendary.
Wine, olive oil.
The bread is that ancient grain bread. Cost of an apartment here is about $650 a month, an apartment. So, for me, I come over here and I think about how fortunate I am, thanks to the backs of my grandfathers. My grandfather, Gaetano Teresi, and also my great-grandfather, his name is Giuseppe Gangi, who took him in. He was a homeless waif, and he equitably adopted him. That means he adopted him like his son, except there was no paperwork. And he ended up fixing him up, my grandfather Gaetano, with his daughter, the Gangi daughter. And they lived in a beautiful house close by. So I come over here and I think about that and how fortunate the Zappala family is, the Teresi family, the Gangi family is. Thousands of immigrants into the United States from Pecastani, Zaffarana, Padada, Nicolosi, Vigrande, Acitrezza. They're all there now. And this right here is where, kind of like, it all started, in Tre Castagni. Here's your little history lesson.
Buongiorno.
Prego.
Bello.
Grazie.
Teatro Turi Scala, community theater, right here. You know, for me, that Hall of Miracles is really something very unusual that I've never seen before. And it's interesting to see, you know, between the 1800s and the early 1900s, a lot of miracles happened on behalf of people who got into car accidents, right? A lot of car accidents. And then it was so interesting to see World War I, World War II, and so forth. So Tre Castagni has a little bit of everything.
You know, my brother Tom. I took my brother Tommy here when he was at the height of his rheumatoid arthritis.
Yeah.
And he came back. He came here, and he was in terrible condition. I took him to the church. I let him go by himself, and ever since that day, and this was about 20 years ago, that guy has. It's like he was dipped in holy water. I swear to God.
In fact, a lot of our friends and also clients who have come about trips and have gone inside that church have said that there's something so special that they feel in there. In fact, one of them, Nancy, just started crying right inside the church, and she said, "I don't know what's going on. There's something in this church."
Well, you should see the people when they carry the big candles. They come from all over Sicily. But I'll tell you one funny story about Tommy too, right? So Tommy and I go back the next day with, we go back there, and he says, "I'm going to go to the Hall of Miracles again," right? So after about a half an hour, I'm saying, where the heck is this guy? I mean, it's nice to go down there, but for half an hour, right? So I see him, and he's in line. So I went up to him. I said, "Hey, Tommy," I says, "what the hell are you doing?" He says, "Well, look at the line." I says, "Look at you, idiot. That's the bathroom." He was in the line for the bath of the toilet for 30 minutes.
All right, let's head over to Acitrezza and a little bit of a dip. So now we're going to go down the hill. Take me about 18 minutes, but it's a beautiful, beautiful walk. But then on the way up, that's going to be fun. And it keeps on going. Look at the beautiful flowers along the way. Now we've arrived to Acitrezza, and I've got one last hill to do. Here's this Church of San Giovanni Battista. Since I only like to stay for an hour, I'm opting out of getting a bed and an umbrella. I'm just gonna get a little couch seat. It's about 12:30. Alfred and I just got done with our errands, so it took me a while to get down here. But as you can see, not too many people. Probably everyone's at lunch, so it's a perfect time for me. And look at that water. Beautiful. This is what it looks like. Then you walk down these stairs and into the water. See those clouds up there? I'm gonna try to get home before they come down here. Tonight they're having a movies festival down here. Stairs, stairs, everywhere there's stairs. I remember a few years ago, I came down exactly over here. It was hot in August, and I had an umbrella in my hands. And these three beautiful women started yelling at me. Put that away, put that away. It brings bad luck. You're gonna bring rain. It's been quite a summer. I've really enjoyed it. Going to all the festivals, seeing it back to what it was pre-COVID, and also featuring some new towns. So I hope you guys have enjoyed those.
I have some hot news for you.
What?
I just got a new updated thing from Ancestry.com.
Yeah?
And it says, of course, it always said to me it's between 89 and 100% that I'm from Sicily,
Yeah.
of course. But now they can break it up into almost
What's the other
exactly
10%?
where. What?
What's the other 10%?
No, it wasn't 10%. It was 89 to 100% from Sicily.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but they says you could also have some of the following from the following towns. And in that 89 to 100%, listen
Yeah,
to this, right?
that's interesting.
It said between, I don't know what it was, high 90s from Tricastani, right? Which I knew, right?
Really? They
Yeah.
break it down by towns now?
They're breaking it down by the Mount Etna mountain towns. But listen to this. I have a 2% chance it could be from Bagheria.
Really?
Yep.
That's new. What about that town we took Josephine to?
And that area over there.
Up in Messina.
1% there by Tusa.
Tusa.
Yeah.
Castel de
But here's the
Tusa.
most important thing that I think is funny. I have to tell Massimo this. It said I could be maybe
Malta.
what?
Malta?
1% Maltese.
Well, was a Malta
Ha,
part?
ha, ha.
Hey, I'm curious. Did any of you do your ancestry? It's so interesting to see the results of that. My mom did it.
If I had to do it again,
Yeah.
I would have never done it.
Why?
Because now, since I did it
Oh, yeah.
years ago, they're so invasive about this past selling this information on to different
Yeah.
people. Like,
Well, that
you know,
happens.
I get stuff all the time, like advertisements. You know how
Right.
you
Well,
always
that
get
happens,
advertisement, right? I mean, I always get stuff for like,
And then you get
old
emails.
guys. What?
Emails from people who
I
think
get
they're really
emails from
related
people.
to you.
I don't mind the emails. A lot of them are fun. I've actually found several cousins that I didn't know about, but several
That's crazy
second
how
or
that
third
works,
cousins.
right?
And then I also found several cousins that were like way close to my genealogical line too. But the thing is that I just think it's too invasive that they sell this stuff. I think if you have a DNA test, they ought to just keep it between you and them, and they shouldn't be allowed to sell it
I
to
agree with you, 100%.
commercial people. I don't think that's right. And one
Wait
more
a-
thing, please.
Yep.
I want to say a big we miss you to Anne Marie Watt and Mike Watt. They moved back. They were our very best friends for years here. We just loved them to pieces. Anne Marie is where now in
North Carolina.
North Carolina, and Mike,
we miss
poor
them.
Mike, they assigned him to Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
He's in Pennsylvania, so they
it's tough.
have a long distance
But
relationship
all she could talk
again.
about when I was talking to her the other days, I miss Sicily, and it's no surprise. Sicily gets in your bloodstream, and they are not Sicilian, let me
I
tell you.
hope that they come back.
Their
here, right?
entire house, I had a little bit of a tour, and their entire house is decorated with things from Sicily. Very cool to see. Even pictures of their home that has now been framed. So it's cool to see.
At least they built a beautiful home there, and
Yeah.
and one of their daughters are getting married, correct?
Yeah, so it's very
So I mean, it's a great, but just for a selfish reason, we used to do a lot of stuff together. As a matter of fact, today, out of deference to Mike, he gave me this U.S. Navy. What are
Use
these
it
things called?
every day.
Where I'm telling you right now, you put something cold in here and it
Or
lasts
something
for
hot,
hours.
or something hot,
So
and it
every time,
lasts.
this is what I use in the hot summer, Mike. And we just miss you. I really
Yeah.
do, and she really misses both of you.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
yeah.
this week we're gonna go to Avola and do some videotaping there, and then next week.
Wait a minute. Are we going to that
next
place
week,
where they sign the armistice?
Casible.
We have to get some
Then
video
next
over
week
there.
we have a wedding, an Italian wedding to attend to.
Oh, next
Yeah,
weekend.
next
we have
weekend.
a highfalutin wedding too.
Highfalutin in Acitrezza. My best friend here is getting married or remarried. Anyway, thank you.
No, it's not remarried.
Well,
it's
married in a
anniversary,
church. No, it's
renewals.
married
It's
in a
vow,
church.
Oh, vow
No,
renewals?
they already got married in town hall. Now they're
Oh.
having a church wedding. It's a long story.
I
I'll let you
I
guys
got
know
married
next
in a town
week.
hall once.
You did?
I got married in a Justice of the Peace too one time. I got married in a church one time. No, take this section out, but yeah.
All right. You know, we have a great community here on YouTube, and we really, really appreciate you guys. But if you want to support us further, you can become a part of the special community here on YouTube. And if you press that button next to the subscribe, it says join, and it'll take you to how you can join for $1.99 a month. And it's just one way of supporting us.
$1.99 a month doesn't seem like much nowadays, does it?
No.
Like it really doesn't. I mean,
don't
you
even
can't
think you
buy,
can get
you
a-
can't
buy
even
a
get a cup of coffee
coffee.
anymore. I used to
I don't
say,
think
for
so.
the price of a cup of coffee, you're helping
No, I don't
supporters.
think you can say
But $1.99 a month, we stretch. Believe me, we stretch. And the groups, the people who are community members are a primary reason why we have increased our visibility on YouTube. Plus, of course, our generous benefactors that we have.
We have many generous benefactors. If you're watching, you know who you are, and
Yes.
also our
And
GoFundMe.
our sponsors that we put at the end of the programming.
Also our GoFundMe sponsors. So we
But
thank you.
For $1.99 a month, we think that's a righteous thing to ask you to become a member. And she always puts stuff on just for the private group. Am I correct in saying
Occasionally,
that?
yes.
Occasionally. All right.
All right. On that note, thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting our channel, and let us know what you think. What do you want to hear more of? See you in another video. By the way, we're here every Wednesday and Sunday. So arrivederci.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
Thank you.